All right, friends, it's T and I'm back, man, with another video. Guess who? JasonBlaha, our favorite Kool-Aid drinking slave. All right, we're gonna make a video on the gym lifting slave. JasonBlaha says, why fitness influencers don't like lower volume training volumes. I don't know. Maybe what depends what they're eating. Carnivore. What are they eating? They're carbohydrates. I don't know. It depends what you're doing, man. It's all relative. But anyways, let's listen to what he has to say, and I'll review this.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here.
By the way, just like one of the commentators in the comment section, one of the guys, the subscribers that wrote in my comment section, he admitted that our ancestral diet is carnivore. He admitted that we're carnivores, that we ate meat. He admitted in his last video, because this is the stupidity that exists out in the world. That's what I mentioned in the video. It's stupid. We're carnivores. It's kind of obvious.
Let's sit down and do another video.
All the other food we're eating is engineered. If it's engineered, it's not natural. What did we eat in nature? Carnivore. So that's what we eat. We don't eat what we fabricate. We are eating it. It's based on marketing.
You guys and gals, let me get a sip of my water first. Get my radio voice going and let's talk about this.
Why do you think we're all so sick?
Alright. Biggest problem with any sort of lower volume training. When you advocate it, the big influencers are not going to like it. Why? Because
does he even understand what high volume training is? Let me ask you this question. What if I do high volume training? I'm adapted, not unadapted. What do you get when you're unadapted, high volume training, a carnivore diet? Or what do you get high volume training, unadapted, carnivore diet, maybe glycogen? A lot of fucking glycogen. You're eating a lot of carbohydrates. Or what are you getting if you're adapted, high volume, and you're eating a lot of glycogen? Maybe you are eating carnivore. Or high volume eating carnivore, unadapted, adapted, whatever. Fuck, man. It goes on forever. It depends on what the fuck you're doing out there. You have to be very specific. And he doesn't specify what this high volume is. He just says high volume training. It can mean anything according to your diet, adapted, unadapted training, high volume. I don't know. What are you trying to get?
they make their living off complexity. They make their living off complexity.
What? What is he talking about?
My programming is
They make their living off complexity. No, they don't. They make their living out of fabricating fake routines and fake diets in order to chase your tail like a dog. They don't want you to succeed, because if you succeeded, you wouldn't need them. My channel, it makes you succeed, so they hated me. He struck me, he copyright struck me to take my channel down. Everybody attacks me on YouTube because success, bro. Nobody wants you to be successful, and they don't want to be successful. They want to keep going to the gym and being a lifting slave, bro. Get it? They don't want to be successful. And then when you do see somebody successful, you guys hate. You guys get nuts. You start hating. You get nuts. You write nasty things in the comment section to the people. Let me tell you something. I'm watching everybody's channel. I'm watching carefully the people in the lifting community's channel. I know the ones that have disappeared, that are still here, that are, and they've had troubles with people hating on them. And I know why. Because they're successful. You're hating on them because they're successful. They're doing something that you're not doing, bro. You must be willing to do the things today that other people are doing in order to have the things tomorrow that other people will not have. You understand me? But you're not willing to do that. None of you are. Success is a short window. Success is a short window, whatever endeavor you're doing out there. It doesn't take forever to get there. You understand me? In other words, it doesn't take 20 years to get to a 400-pound bench press. But I know it takes 400 years to get to 10 pounds of muscle. Hello? What the fuck?
usually relatively simple for my clients, yet you guys have seen me produce some physiques that were extremely impressive.
I've seen nothing.
Over the last few
I've seen nothing. I've seen no physiques that you produced that were fucking whatever.
years. You've seen me produce some guys who were brutally strong.
Nope, I didn't see any of those things. Nothing. I seen nothing. I didn't see anybody brutally strong out there.
600 plus pound squats, 700 plus pound deadlifts for guys who were not.
Okay, let's say you have a 600-pound squat and deadlift. Let's say you have that. But everything else is weak. You can't perform in sports. You can't perform in arm wrestling. You lose. You lose in every other sport. So what good was it if you didn't get all around strong? Get it at all of them. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You shouldn't bench press or fucking whatever, squat fucking 600 or deadlift 600. These are all great things. But what about all the other stuff? It's not just about a 600 pound deadlift, bro. You understand me or that? What about getting strong on all the other things?
Fat. Okay. I can get people big and strong.
I too myself have neglected many things to get strong on them again, because to get strong is to get new adaptations. They're all based on an adaptation system. That's how it's measured. It's measured that way. Whether it's chemical adaptations, whether it's muscular adaptations, which coincide. See, muscular can move with that force production. They can move together synergistically. But what happens is you ran out of the muscular adaptations and then you move for the chemical adaptations in force production. That's what happened. It's a leap. It's a protective effect. It's protection. That's why people they can't understand this hypertrophy and getting strong. They think I gotta get strong, but it has nothing to do with muscle. It does, because the motor units proliferate through the muscle fibers. How do you think you get that fucking force production, dude? Get it? How do you think you get it? They proliferate through the muscle fibers. That's how you get it. It doesn't come out of the air. So these androgen receptors, where do they go? They have to attach somewhere. They can't attach in the air. So think about it. The more muscle you grow, the more natural strength you will increase. Not just a force production and chemical strength. I'm talking about in maximal force production in muscle size. You get stronger. That way you can kill people in fucking arm wrestling, fighting, whatever it is you're fucking doing out there. But if all you got was one adaptation in muscularity, and then you got a bunch of chemical strength, adaptation and chemical strengths, because your body doesn't want to put on muscle unless it's an adaptation. So what is the point? What is the point?
A lot of my really big, strong guys train less than you think they do. I'm talking like 10 sets a week for their legs.
They did 10 sets for their legs, and so what? Your body will rapidly adapt to that. And then there will be no more 10 sets. There'll only be, you're going to try to incrementally increase the weight, but there won't be any muscular size to go with it. There won't be anything. There won't be any more adaptations in myofibrillar growth, density, myofibrillar growth.
10 sets a week tops for their chest. I've had guys who bench over 400.
I've had guys that ate at buffets every single day of the week, and they gained fucking a shitload of muscle, contractile muscle proteins. And what about it, Blaha? What about it? But I know guys that go in the gym and lift, and they never get an adaptation in myofibrillar growth. Ever.
You know, we build their bench.
You build
mostly pause benching, a little incline work.
All that shit's gonna go away. You know the funny part about that? I built a bench press and all that. Can you touch that? Can you touch that? Can you see? It's man. It's not physical. It's not physical. It's chemical. A lot of it is not based on physical. Unless you gain more physical, you could base it on that, but you can't. That's why when you leave the gym, it goes away really quickly. You have to be a slave to that lift forever to keep up with the Joneses. See what I mean?
Make sure their back is big, right? Who look jacked, okay? That's usually what it takes. Just good programming. It doesn't have to be complex.
Whatever.
But, again, I want to dig further into a lot of the data, because I want to dig back into a lot of the older studies that are contradicting what this current circle is saying, that were not that long ago. But all of that aside, I do feel like everyone wants to throw all this excessive volume at everyone. And this looks good to influencers, because they're like, then I can come up with 7 new exercises to throw at people.
That yeah, that's to keep you guessing. They don't want you to be successful. That's how they keep you there as a lifting gym slave, like you do to your clients, Blaha. Success again is a short window. Even in building muscle, it's based on adaptation system. Building force production is an adaptation system. If you understand what an adaptation is, it is the protective effect against something. If you're in a low altitude climate, guess what? You're going to high altitude climate. You're going to have less oxygen. Your body has to do what? It has to adapt to it. Otherwise, you die. You would die. You would be physically dead and finished. Okay, what do I have to do to gain more myofibrillar growth? Well, I have to constantly shoot for new adaptations. That's right. Otherwise, the body will rapidly adapt so it doesn't die, and it'll start giving me chemical strength instead. I'll start increasing the weight. It'll start going up for sure, lifting, but my body size will stay the same. I would not have grown any myofibrillars. I would have wasted my time going to the gym. And then all I have to show for it when I shrink is a newbie gain. And even the newbie gain might go away because there's not enough there. It only happened once, and then it went away. What the fuck?
Work every plane, every angle. The problem with that, most people are not trying to be competitive bodybuilders. And I think people have to remember that.
Yeah. So let me ask this question. Most people want to grow muscle and look cool and have really strong muscle, be super strong and jacked. They want to be jacked and super strong. That's what you've started doing now. You started training for bodybuilding, something. But you're not really growing. You're not doing anything because you're adapted. The thing is, and then what do? You get these people and then you want them to have, I want them to have a 600-pound deadlift and squat and everything. But nobody respects a small, strong guy. Everybody in public respects a big, strong guy. That's the reason when people look at you, even on YouTube or whatever, they see you as a big, strong guy. They don't care about a little guy that could lift a heavy weight. A little, strong guy. Get it? Yeah, they don't care about ants that can lift 10 times their body weight because they come around and they step on them. That's just how it is in society. It's physical and visual. It's physical and visual. Trust me, it is. Trust me. I walk around in the gym and people are threatened by my size. They try to rub up against me now. They're trying to challenge me. They're getting angry because I'm getting better. And so they're moving closer to me. They're getting too close, rubbing. They're looking at me. Yeah, because they feel physically inadequate. They feel, how should I put it, inferior. They start feeling inferior, so they want to come closer to me. One woman, I heard that crazy woman, this guy who challenged me, his girlfriend, she was sitting at the windowsill. She says, oh, he's getting stronger. Yeah, I got bigger. I got stronger because I'm getting new adaptations. That's the whole point. Hello?
People have to remember that your average follower out there isn't trying to be a competitive bodybuilder. So
listen, do any of you feel threatened by JasonBlaha? Would you feel threatened by him? You saw him in public. Would you feel like inferior to him when you walked around? Or would you feel superior to him when you walked around? Would you feel superior? Ask yourself that question. But if JasonBlaha was massive, like over 6 feet and fucking built like an ox and everything massive, would he make you feel inferior then? Would you feel inferior? Would you feel threatened? Yeah, possibly. But he doesn't make you inferior or feel threatened because, yeah, this channel is never going to grow because that's what he exudes. That's what he exudes.
People are really leading them astray. If they have 1 million followers and they're focusing on sculpting every last head and angle of a muscle, they're trying to get...
Man, I've seen people walk into rooms. I remember a guy, he was a wrestler in my old gym when I was young. I was like, this was like, I think it was 1989 or something. He was a cool dude. And that time, there was a lot of steroids in the gyms. He was running around. He was like 6'5". I looked at that guy and I just thought, man, that guy's fucking massive, bro. He was like over 6'5", and he was just huge shoulders, massive, whatever. He made people feel inferior. You understand me? They were scared of him. Then he walked around. His presence was visual. You could see it. It was threatening. You understand me? People saw him. They were like, shit. Yeah.
Someone stage ready. That's not even usually off-season training. I know bodybuilding coaches who run their people on off-season on way more moderated stuff. I know a bodybuilding coach who runs a bunch of successful bodybuilders, a bunch of successful bikini competitors who's borderline Menzer level hit. Right?
Brian Shaw makes people feel inferior. You understand me? They feel threatened. That bodybuilder guy, the one that has the zoo culture gym, he tried to challenge him like in kind of like a wrestling match. Did you see what happened to him? He's like, oh, I'm 260. He was like, I'm 260 pounds. Yeah, but Brian Shaw is like over 450, sometimes 400, 450 pounds. 450 against some dude 260. Think about that. Brian Shaw is going to make him feel inferior. And so I think at the time he was feeling intimidated, but he tried to wrestle him. But he knew he couldn't win. And Brian Shaw just picked him up like a rag doll, tossed him around. You understand me? That's what really happens. It's a physical, visual world. The more threatening you are, the more respect you get. People don't bother you in public. They won't tell you shit.
It's all about intensity over volume. That's what he preaches. You see guys like Paul Carter, and a lot of people hate Paul Carter, and that's fine. People have their own right to their views, perfectly reasonable to have whatever views you have. But
let me ask you this question: if you build myofibulars, are you not stronger? If you get bigger, more myofibulars, or whatever, did you not get stronger? Did you not get stronger?
He also does push keeping the volumes more moderated, yet his people get results. That's all I'm saying. You can hate on someone all that you want, but are their clients and people consistently getting results? We come over to Birkin. Birkin really shook stuff up because he promoted.
Yeah, you know what they do to get results? They give them drugs. They give them creatine. They pack them with creatine, things that they think will work, even temporarily. They give them cosmetics. That's what they do because they failed. They failed.
About the lowest minimalism I've ever seen.
They couldn't have all of you know the truth, how muscle is truly built. No, they don't want you to know that. Why would they?
I would almost be scared to go that low personally. Yet Martin looked phenomenal. Because what Martin pointed out, you just got to get big and strong, and the heavyweights will make you dense. Your diets will get you ripped.
They could. It depends on what you're eating, and it depends on what you're shooting for, an adaptation.
He was right. Because Martin pulled it off. He's like, I don't do cardio. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do cardio. That's an extreme example, though.
You know, my friend told me don't tell anybody how to build muscle online. And I go, why? Why? He just said, he never told me why. He just goes, just because. You'll find out. And I go, what do you mean? But why? He says, you'll find out. Okay, I found out why I shouldn't teach people about how to build muscle. You want to know why? Because I got attacked. You know what I told him? I said, when I started teaching people how to build muscle and everything online, people attacked me. They said, I got attacked and everything. They fucking tried to put me down, and they said shit about me. They said what I was doing is wrong, They went nuts. He said, that's the reason why you should not tell anybody how to build muscle. Now you know, he goes, now you understand. I go, yeah, now I understand.
Look at the routines that he had people doing. And they were focused around the big basic exercises. And then you throw in a little.
The reason was because my friend told me, he said, because they were already conditioned a certain way, and that you're not confirming their fake beliefs. And when you don't confirm their fake beliefs, they're just going to bash you. He said, the truth doesn't work because it's all marketing. He told me it's marketing. And that was the reason. He said, you'll find out. Because he told me bodybuilding is marketing. It's not based on truth. It's based on marketing. And if it's based on marketing and making money, the truth doesn't work in that field. And everybody will try to attack you and put you down, try to destroy your channel. That's what they'll try to do. And they did. They did. They destroyed one of my channels. Like this goof, he tried to destroy me because he recruits lifting slaves. And I threatened his channel. He brought me up many times on his channel. They all knew who I was. They brought up my name, these people.
The small stuff afterwards, if you need to. Man, it was like 3 heavy work sets on a half board.
Look, he tried to take me down again on a copyright. And not only that, try to take me down on some other crazy thing. They took away my features, YouTube, but I appealed it. Said something about, I don't know, against community guidelines or something. He literally, I was scared. I thought my channel was done then. All the features I couldn't upload, it said you can't do certain things. You could just look at your channel. And I'm like, what? That was just crazy.
Exercises every week. That's it. Then you do some isolation stuff as needed for calves, arms, whatever.
So now you know how threatening my channel is to these people. When people are trying to take your channel away from you, that tells you, it's a big indicator you are a threat, because what you're doing is correct. If I wasn't a threat, why would they want to do that? If I was never a threat to any of these people, why would they bash my videos or bash me if I didn't threaten any of them? I threaten them with the truth, and everything else that I'm doing, it threatens people. Sometimes, success threatens these people. They can't handle it because they love living in failure. They all want to fail together at the gym. How could you be succeeding and us all failing? This is a bad thing. You succeed, us fail. No. You must fail along with us.
It worked. He looked phenomenal. He had people who looked phenomenal. I knew someone who he coached at one time. He got great results. He actually got him ready for a bodybuilding show. So here's my point. They want to promote complexity instead of teaching you how to do basic movements and then just fill in the gaps. And for most people, that's really all you need. You're not trying to, do I need 3 different isolation movements for my delts? Jesus Christ. No, you don't need that. I would venture to say that if your delts are a weak link, you could probably come in and do some laterals. On a good basic program, with a handful of good exercises done at appropriate volumes, training really hard, if your delts are lagging, do some laterals. Done. And that's almost what I would say. And they don't like to hear this, because how can these influencers tell you?
If your delts are lagging, just do some laterals. Okay. What are you eating? Is it meat? Is it protein? Or is it carbohydrates? How do you know what you're getting there? Is it sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? Or is it myofibrillar? Like, what are you getting there exactly? Did you get DOMS to know that was myofibrillar? Is it based on contractile proteins? Are you eating like 4, 5, 10 hours a day, 6 hours a day? Are you exceeding that breakdown in protein to get that type of adaptation? Like, which one are you getting? Contractile proteins, are you eating enough? Are you getting myofibrillar growth, which is associated with DOMS? Like, which one are you getting there exactly? Or is it glycogen? Are you storing glycogen proteins? Which one is it, Blaha? See what I mean? Training is very complex. As a coach, you need to know all these fucking things.
I mean, how many of these guys make the same video over and over on a rope press down or a tricep press down? We do it with our elbows locked at our side, right? That's what they...
Yeah, because they're just telling you how to do the exercise properly, because they don't know how to build muscle. They don't know anything else. If they don't know anything else, it's better for them to just tell you how to use the machines.
Teach you. They're literally making stuff up so that you recruit less tricep. In what world would you lock your elbows by your side if you wanted the long head to grow up?
You're doing the same thing. What good is doing the tricep if you've maxed out the adaptations?
Here.
No more adaptations, duh.
This one right here requires the shoulder movement.
I know. You're stimulating it. So there's an open window for protein synthesis. But protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. Are you exceeding that breakdown? Do you even know what that means?
Right?
I know. You're eating a lot of glycogen to compensate for that. So you're going to build some sarcoplasmic phony muscles. I got it. I understand, Blaha.
Your extension should be like that. Unless you're only trying to recruit the lateral head.
Yeah.
Doesn't that get worked on the bench?
And what good is that going to do if you've maxed out there's no more adaptations? What good is that? What are you doing now exactly?
Haven't there been studies showing that the bench press actually hypertrophies that head more than single joint movement?
So here's the question. How does a bench press hypertrophy a muscle? He says you bench and it's going to hypertrophy it. How does a bench hypertrophy it? I know. Glycogen. Carbohydrates will hypertrophy it. But Only proteins can hypertrophy. Protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown will hypertrophy it, and if it doesn't, it won't hypertrophy it. And an adaptation would hypertrophy it. Get it through muscle damage. So those two will definitely hypertrophy it, but not a bench will not hypertrophy those. One will cause damage. The other one, well, you have to go and eat. And then the third one, well, if you ate the carbohydrates, then it's going to definitely pump up. It's going to get the pump.
Haven't we seen that in research?
And then if you're not doing all three, guess what you're going to get? An inflammatory response. Like the majority of people that lift in the gym, they're adapted to their 3 meals a day. They're not exceeding this breakdown, and they're not getting DOMs. They're not getting muscle damage. So what are they getting? An inflammatory response in the gym. They're inflaming their muscles. They're coming there, inflaming them, and transient pump. I'm getting the pump. I'm getting inflammation. Boy, and walking around with that, pretending that they're big or something.
I'm pretty sure we have.
They're all tiny. They're all tiny and small.
So why are you trying to do that? Why would they do that? Because then it sounds like they're teaching something special. I mean, I will see these people make endless videos on press downs and different angles, and this will change your range of motion, and then it really doesn't. Nothing changed at the joint. It just changed your arm swing or something.
Yeah, look at Blaha. He's such an idiot. What a fool.
But the joint didn't change any
What a dummy.
number of angles, which is what matters. When we're talking about range of motion, we are talking about joint angles.
Yeah, angles are going to build the muscle. Joint angles, this, that. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
That is what we mean.
Yeah, okay.
York has leading research.
Stimulus.
Oh, we're talking hypertrophic stimulus. Yeah, stimulus. Hypertrophic stimulus. Okay, a stimulus. Okay, and then what?
But these people want to make everything complex, but my God.
What type of hypertrophic stimulus is this? Is this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, myofibrillar, or is this contractile proteins? You've got 3 of them to choose from. And then you got a 4th one. It's inflammatory response, and maybe even a 5th one, and then a 3rd, a 4th, whatever. Blood flow restriction, bullshit, blood in there, pumping blood, and I don't know, lactic acid buildup, inflammatory response, and transient pump, a transient pump. So you have several other ones that are even more phony than the last one. The only 2 real ones that you can get is myofibrillar growth, which is permanent, and then you got contractile proteins. They are not permanent. They can go away. Okay, and then glycogen, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It could go away too really quick. So which would be, and then the rest are all fake. Which would be the one that you would really want to shoot for? Myofibrillar growth. And how do you do that? Repetitive injuries to muscle fibers. Repetitive injuries to muscle fibers. That's how they grow. No injuries, no growth.
What if you came in and told them, you could do upper lower 4 days a week?
I could tell you if you were, man, if you're consistent in trying to do this the way I did in my program, on a custom, that's much harder because you're shooting straight in a row for a couple. You can max out adaptations even on a regular diet. You could get some more adaptations in myofibrillar growth on a regular diet, but again, your body's even adapting to your diet. 3 meals are not working, 4 or 5 meals, 6 meals are not working anymore. I'm a hard gainer. Get it? Because you're adapted. 3
sets of bench, train really hard on it. Now, that requires programming.
Whatever.
You know, bench and chin-ups on the upper day, squats and deadlifts on the lower, and, 3 hard sets of each. So, 6 sets of bench, squat, deadlift, and chin-ups every week. And then whatever your weak links are, or your pec muscles are, come in and do some other exercises for them. Right? Whatever you need to bring up after that, work on it. If you need biceps, do some curls. If your delts aren't capped enough, do some lateral raises. If you need bigger calves, do some calf raises. For most people out there.
So just do all those exercises and you'll get a muscle. But if the protein synthesis doesn't exceed that breakdown, then that's not going to work. And if you're adapted, then there's no more myofibrillar growth there either. And then I know. See, just do these exercises and you're eating glycogen, artificial food, and you're going to create artificial muscles. See, here's how it works. You eat artificial food, what you're not meant to eat, and guess what you're going to grow in the gym? Artificial muscles. Hello. Are you fake, Natty?
If they trained really hard and did something like this, they would probably get better results than half the crap these people are kicking out. They would.
Yeah, you get better phony fake results. Yes.
They would.
Yes. Yes.
When I was new to all this, about the 25-year mark.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
They still got results. They did.
What results did they get?
I saw it. I sat back and watched it.
Yeah, whatever.
Next year.
It can fool you. How do you know it wasn't fake? It was artificial results. How do you know it wasn't artificial?
I look at what my total volume was like. My pressing volume.
Whatever.
How are they going to come up with new content?
Like, did I not do this on my channel before? 6 weeks of this training, whatever? Remember, train people get what? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. What is that? Fake muscle growth.
How are they going to come up with new content on that? They're going to have to discuss those exercises a lot. And then they might have to really discuss nutrition and other stuff and recovery in a more correct manner. At the end of the day, how many of the people that follow them are beat up, banged up, everything hurts from all the overuse, trying to do 20 sets of...
Yeah, overuse. Yeah, you're gonna be whatever. Yeah, if you're adapted, definitely.
of isolation stuff for every muscle, year after year. When the majority of the people following this don't need any of that.
I like how he thinks he's so superior. You think he's not watching my videos getting educated off of me? Of course he is, because he's a dummy. He's an idiot. I'm educating this guy for free. He should be paying me. The fuck?
They need some good basic programming, some solid nutrition advice, and then to focus on the recovery.
No, they don't. They need to eat their natural diet, and they need to create natural muscles instead of eating an artificial diet and creating artificial muscles called sarcoplasmic. It's really simple, man. I'll see you in the next one. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I gotta go, bro. I got more things to do. See you later.